uncovered the secret of being a better snowboarder as well as preventing heel lift. So throughout this video, I'm gonna give you guys a nice detailed, nerdy, in-depth session. And throughout this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to be a better snowboarder by utilizing one single joint in your body that I know you're not taking advantage of. So on that note, enough talking, let's go vibe, let's go snowboard. Majority of the time when you're struggling with heel lift, it's not actually your equipment, it's the technique of how you're turning your snowboard. So what's really cool about that is if you can figure out the technique, prevent heel lift, sounds like a WW, right? Sounds like a win-win. So the first thing we're gonna dive into is understanding the technique of turning that is actually making you have heel lift. When you're making a toe side turn, you actually wanna take your shin and press it against the front of your boot, allowing you to create angulation. When you're pressing your shin against the front of your boot enough, you're actually gonna tilt your board. Now what's cool about that is you're closing the ankle joint, and the more you press your shin in, the more your board's gonna twist and the sharper turn you're gonna get. Now those kind of turns are actually super useful for trees, moguls, short radius turns, which is also really good for steep terrain, so super functional. Now, with that said, there's YouTubers out there that are saying to press a rock down in the ground, which is exactly the wrong thing to do, and that's significantly gonna increase bad habits as well as heel lift. Now let me explain. If you're sitting in your car, or if you're walking, or you're standing around watching this video, and simply lift up your heel and you're gonna open your ankle joint and you're gonna pretend to squish a rock on the ground. What essentially you're doing is you're lifting your heel out of your boot, not creating a tilt in a positive way. You're creating a tilt in a very less functional way for a snowboard. I got a special announcement, and if you guys have been seeing this logo, this is my Benetech logo. I'm dropping merch. Is literally live right now. You guys can go pick up the merch. It is part of the goggle company that I'm starting, and then eventually it's gonna be an outdoor tech company, whereas I build this brand starting from nothing and making it into something and providing you guys an elevated experience along the way. So if you guys want a hoodie, if you wanna support a Colorado company, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. And then if you get one of these hoodies, tag me on Instagram, because who knows, maybe we do a hoodie, sticker, merch, shout out on the gram. All right guys, let's get back to the show. So what I've done is I've loosened the crap out of my boots. I've actually loosened the liner thing as well because I don't want to cheat. And I am going to do a one continuous shot so you know that I'm not fibbing it. So Sean is gonna point down at my feet. We're gonna show that my pants are rolled up. These things are loose. You can see everything under the sun, both of them. We're gonna do one continuous shot and we're gonna go snowboard and see if I'm full of shenanigans. Oh yeah, we're in. Oh man, let's go. Oh yeah, we're vibing. Switch. No heel lift whatsoever. It's pretty incredible if you have the right technique. I'm literally snowboarding as if my boots are tight. I'm not falling out, I'm not slipping, I'm freaking jibbing and jabbing. I'm gonna try to catch some air. Let's see if I fall out of my boots. Woo! Okay, that was a little sketchy and that was switch. So now we're gonna slow it a little bit down and we're gonna see if I can actually create heel lift and see if you guys can see what it is. So if I press, oh, see how quick my board sporadically moves? I'm trying to squish a rock. I can't get the same performance out of that turn. My heels are literally about to fall out. If I unstrap my boot's already unstrapped, but if I loosen my bindings, I'm really curious to see what happens. So I'm gonna have Sean slow down a little bit. We're gonna loosen these. And now, can we be absolutely loose as a goose and still make turns? And then we're gonna do the bad technique versus the good technique. Good technique first. okay. Oh yeah, a lot more squirrely, but I really gotta focus on the mechanics because I'm barely connected to my snowboard. But we're gonna slow down now, so I can still turn, right? We're gonna turn, it's harder. This is switch, by the way. Let's go regular. I'm still making turns. Okay, now, I might try this, let's see. Oh, you can literally pull your foot out of your boot if you have bad technique. So, the point I'm trying to get across is if you have proper technique, your snowboarding agility, the functionality is gonna be 10 times better. But if you're opening that joint, meaning getting on your tippy toes, not awesome. Now, after that, we're gonna dive into a couple techniques to make your carving better and to make turns even that much more awesome. So, I'm gonna warm up my foot, go do some turns. We're gonna get more nerdy. Feels crazy now. But he was really far away. Okay, cool, Tommy, use your ankles. What do we exactly do? So I want to dive into how the heck we actually do this. So what I want you to do is practice pointing your board straight down the fall line. And as you make a toe side turn, once again, you're going to press your shin bone against the front of your boot as if you're trying to squish a little spider that is sitting on your heel strap. As you increase the amount of pressure you apply to the front of your boot, the more quickly you're gonna turn. Now, if I wanna make some really crazy turns, I gotta push really quick. If I wanna make some progressive turns, I just progressively press on the front of my boot. Now, what that's gonna do is essentially twist your board. Your board's gonna start to twist. The front of your board is gonna grip the beginning of the snow and turn as if you're a car and your tires are turning from the front. Kind of a beautiful thing. Okay, Tommy, that's awesome. I like what you're saying. What about for heel side? So heel side is a little bit of a different technique, but we're still gonna be utilizing our lower extremities. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna point our board down the fall line. Once again, we're gonna sink our belly button low while keeping our spine upright. You're going to pretend that your knee is a door, and you're gonna open that door and you're gonna try to actually rotate your knee. And what I mean by that is you're actually rotating your femur out of your hip socket so that your knee moves about a 45-degree angle towards your heel side edge. What that's gonna do is it's gonna grip the early part of that edge on the front of your board, and it's gonna help turn the snowboard once again, just like a car with the steering coming from the front tires. So what I want you to do is try that maybe 5, 10 different times, both on your heel side turn, your toe side turn, totally isolate it and really feel that board making that turn. Try to do a couple more progressively but slightly more aggressive, and then do some more progressively but slightly more mellow, and do that for your heel side, do that for your toe side. And then what you can do is start doing it instead of pointing straight down the fall line. You can start entering your turn so you're facing uphill. You're gonna make your heel side turn, toe side turn using that technique. Now I have a whole completely different video on this topic. If you wanna dive super nerdy into exactly how to be awesome at turns, check out the link in the description below, but I don't wanna leave you hanging because you may have never seen that video. So the next move we're gonna do is become more agile, do a lot of little spinny, twisty, awesome maneuvers without catching an edge. Well, we're gonna achieve that by using our ankles. All right, so when it comes to doing those crazy whip wild tricks, the coolest thing about that is you really gotta understand the fall line and timing of you always gotta keep that downhill up. That means if my toes, as I'm pointing downhill, my toes touch the ground, I'm gonna catch an edge fall. It's not fun. But on the opposite, as I'm facing downhill and I lift up my toes, I can make sure that there's tilt or gap from the ground to my board so I don't catch an edge. On the opposite, on my toe side turn, I can press my knees against my shins really quickly and be able to do the same thing, which is preventing that heel side catch. Now, obviously this is gonna take a little bit of practice, timing, and understanding, but the more you're able to move your board sideways and consciously think about your feet being up, using your ankles, the more you think about it, eventually the less you gotta think about it because it's gonna be a natural habit. So Kind of cool. Utilize your ankle to be a better snowboarder by making more quick tilt movements, or keep yourself in a more stacked, awesome position. So the next thing we're gonna dive into is doing a hillside carve. Sometimes it's such a struggle, but you just wanna take your boot and throw it in the trash can. But we're not gonna do that. Can we really make carves better by using our ankle? Well, heck yes, we can. So the two things we're gonna be discussing is, we don't want our center of mass too far outside of our body where we hit some ice or hit some crazy soft snow and where we slip out. So what we can do is, as we're making the hillside turn, we need to get more tilt. The more tilt we have, the more grip we can get on the snow. So what I want you to do is go get all 10 of your toes, but you just lift up your toes to the top of your boot throughout your hillside turn. What you're gonna notice is that your center of mass is able to stay more over the board and be like this, versus so far over here that you're slipping out and falling. Now let me demonstrate both of them so you can see the difference. If I fall, it's for you. So what you're gonna notice there is, I was making that hillside turn and my belly button got so far away from my board that I was no longer in a stacked position. If my center of mass, really, I like to indicate that by where my belly button is. If my center of mass moves so far, at what point is it gonna slip out? Now, what if I'm able to get more aggressive, gnarly, awesomer, not a word, turns, and I can achieve that by getting my center of mass to be more stacked over my board in more of a balanced position, and then I lift up my toes, allowing me to get more tilt, so I get that awesome turn. It's kind of a win-win. You're in a more stacked, awesome position while getting a sharper turn. It's kind of a nice little hack. So, as I said before, what I want you to go do is go experiment with both of them. Go make a hillside turn and just see how far you can go. Yeah, you might slip out, but if you choose the right day and the right conditions, it's not a big deal. Or see if you can just get a little lower, lift up your toes, and see if you can get a little bit more tilt while staying stacked. It's a cool little hack to do just that. So with that said, come join me on Tuesday nights for a live stream if you wanna come vibe. I get to know you, you get to know me, you get to ask questions, because on Instagram, it's hard for me to answer all those DMs. So if you wanna get in touch with me, join the live stream, come hang out, come vibe. You guys have been phenomenal. I hope you guys liked this video, because I tell you right now, it was so fun to make, so we're definitely gonna have to keep up the good vibes and that kind of stuff. On that note, nothing but love. You're amazing. We out. We do like slow, I'm gonna do like rapid turns like this. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Rip. You know, young man, that was incredibly stupid.
That's what she said?
Yeah. I should put your pass in the system, but I'm not going to.